it's your lovely Abbie Dagrin, and welcome back to my channel, lovelies. Today I'll be continuing a series on my channel that deals with natal chart analysis / readings, and today I'll be doing one on Keke Palmer. I'll be speaking on her personality traits, her characteristic traits based off of her chart. I'll be speaking on how she's been able to garner a lot of success based off of that chart. So please stay tuned for the rest of my video, lovelies. If you have not yet become a part of the Abbie Dagrin family, then this is your calling to do so. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when I upload videos on the daily. Also, please make sure you hit that like button because I know you guys will love this video. And last but not least, please make sure you share this video with everyone you know. From your friends or enemies, anyone who's a fan of Keke Palmer, or anyone who really loves his content and appreciates this. Now let's get right into the video, lovelies. So Keke Palmer was born on August 26, 1993, so this qualifies her to be a Virgo. So with this placement, she tends to be a mutable sign, but she is also an earth sign. And she's someone who's very diligent, very industrious. She's very caring and organized with people, and she has incredible intuition that really helps her and guides her. And by her having an earth sign, she does tend to be industrious and work very hard. The caringness is something that a lot of Virgos do care for a lot of people. They do tend to be very organized and very analytical, and that does come from them being ruled by Mercury. The intuition that they have is something that's very important and interesting because they're able to make decisions off their intuition, but they're able to be analytical about it as well. So it's the best of both worlds. Next up is her moon in Sagittarius. And with this placement, she tends to be incredibly carefree. She is someone who is energetic. Makes sense because it is a fire sign. And she's the type of person who loves to explore the world. That does come with Sagittarius energy. They love to explore. They love to see different things. They're also people who are very optimistic and who always see the good in everything and just have a lot of faith in themselves. They do have a good sense of humor. They're very funny people, and Keke Palmer is so funny. She's hilarious. She's someone who's very honest. She's freedom loving. She's very adventurous. She's very carefree, open-minded. She is a go-getter. You do see her doing a lot of movies and a lot of things. She's always looking for the next thing that is great for her, and she's just such a hard worker and a go-getter. And she's also someone who's very friendly. So this really does describe Keke. Next up is her Mercury in Virgo. This is actually a great placement because Mercury is ruled by Virgo, so she tends to learn people and communicate with people and make decisions in the most practical and rational manner because of this placement. She's also someone who's able to talk to people and for them to understand them because she's speaking in a way that makes sense, and she's coming from a place of understanding and analytical thinking. She's someone who is a conformist, rational reasoner. She's someone who loves critical thinking. She's a great listener. She's someone who is very precise, very understanding. She's someone who may be at times critical, but she is someone who's very concerned. And she's always analyzing situations and is always into solving problems. So this really does describe Keke in the best way. Next up is her Venus in Cancer. And with this placement, she tends to be quite sensitive when it comes to dealing with love and relationships. She wants a committed and predictable relationship. She's someone who's very sensitive when it comes to security, comfort, and love. So that's something that she really wants in a relationship. She wants to show love by taking care of her partner's needs. She pays more attention to her partner's feelings than her own at times, and that's something that she does need to work on because she needs to take care of herself and make sure she's okay as well. She's someone who can resort to the silent treatment when she's very unhappy. It's difficult for her to forget an injury or something that has been done to her. She likes sentimental gestures. She's very patient, loving, and dependable. She's very intuitive, and she's very creative and big-hearted. So this is something that comes with this placement. Next up is her Mars in Libra. And with this placement, she tends to be very charming, and she has great negotiation skills. Being charming has really helped with this placement for anyone because it helps you really be friendly and for people to get to know you. They're very diplomatic people, and they do have a sense of beauty. They love fairness and balance. They always strive for harmony, and they're always very eloquent. They do tend to be very ambitious as well, and that does come from being a cardinal sign. Also, they do have a social drive. They are very much someone who has very persuasive energy. They can really persuade someone into doing something. They are very graceful, and they're also able to have a temper that's very refined. So they're not really too angry, but when they do get angry, they do get really angry. Next up is her Jupiter in Libra. And with this placement, she has the ability to listen to all sides and make the correct decisions. So by listening to all sides of a situation, she's able to make a balance, and she's able to make the best decision for her. She's someone who's very sociable and very unbiased. She's also someone who tends to be good at balancing opinions and judging issues. But at times she can be indecisive when it comes to making up her mind, and she tries her best to be objective, and she is the person that wants to play fair, and she wants to be just. So she's a very honest person. With this placement, she also tends to be someone who wants to make decisions so people are proud of her, or people will not be upset at her. So with this placement, it's great for her because it'll balance out all of her other placements. Next up is her Saturn in Aquarius, and this is actually a great placement because it is ruled by Aquarius. She tends to be very reserved in her actions, and even though her thoughts are still considered to be unconventional, her thoughts are something that are very important. She's very reserved in her actions, which helps her really navigate in life a lot better, or a lot easier than other people would. Even though her thoughts, like I said, are conventional, because Aquarius's placements do tend to have conventional or unconventional thoughts. In the future, those thoughts will be considered conventional, and people will think to Keke Palmer like, wow, what she said was so true, and what she wanted to create was so inevitable and so beautiful that, you know, maybe we should follow what she says, or like, she's such a trendsetter. So anyone with these Aquarius placements, don't ever be discouraged from being different, because eventually your different will become the norm. Next up is her Uranus and Capricorn. And with this placement, it's all about planning for the future as much as possible, and this makes her an automatic innovator. And that's something that makes so much sense for Keke, because she's always working, and she does seem like she's always working for the future as well. And she's the type of person that does go into different occupations or different trades, and by this does make her an automatic innovator, because she's figuring out ways, or anyone with this placement, to make money and be comfortable in the future. She's someone who does well in regards to seeking out practical solutions to changing society's attitudes to customs, traditions, and authority structures. She's logical and orderly in dealing with things that matter, and will result in permanent and carefully planned but sweeping reforms. So this explains this placement. Next up is her Neptuning Capricorn. And with this placement, she tends to focus on ways to increase her power, wealth, and influence. And this is something that comes with Capricorn energy. They do want to have that power, and she's able to gain that because she has been a child star for a long time, and she's been able to increase her power, wealth, and influence through different forums, through different occupations. She has gone into different things like singing, acting, being a talk show host. So that was something that was very interesting, and she did really good on that. She really idealizes work, and she's very practical and has the ability to attain reasonable goals. But because she will also stress the need to be selfless and giving, she may find it difficult to attain her goals until she has lowered her expectations on all fronts. But it's important for her to know that she can set her goals up to the sky and she can do it. Next up is her Pluto in Scorpio. Since she was born between 1984 and 1995, this qualifies her to be a millennial. So this has a lot to do with intensity, facing what is scary, and she loves to make collective issues conscious. She's the type of generation that deals with a lot of revolutions, collective movements, and she's always that part of a generation that is looking deeper into situations to discover what's really going on behind the scenes. Makes sense because it is a Scorpio placement. They're the type of people to have intense research and discovery in areas that are considered mysterious, remote, or something people don't want to talk about. The root causes for many occurrences will be due to thoroughness of search, and this placement tends to be a generation that will show what needs to be done, and probably next generations are the ones who are going to get what they need to get done. Next up is her North Node in Sagittarius, and in order for her to uncover her hidden gifts and talents, she would need to develop these attributes: reliance on intuition, prophetic abilities, and invisible guidance, speaking from higher conscientiousness, being spontaneous, having free communication, trusting in herself, spending time alone and in nature, having patience with others and with herself, intuitive listening, hearing the meaning behind every single word that is spoken, free her mind and explore the horizons, learn the way of the spirit, connect to nature, teach and inspire others to live a life of splendidness, give up superficial connections in exchange for divine connections, focus her energies on intellectual and spiritual pursuits, and find an emotional connection to a project before she starts. Next up is her Chiron in Leo. And with this Chiron placement, she tends to have the wound of her talents being overlooked. Perhaps she never got the chance to shine, or maybe she may feel as though she's not talented. And this is something that I remember a few weeks ago, they were talking about her and Zendaya, and they felt as though she wasn't getting the mainstream media success as people thought she should. And this is something that she may have been dealing with all her life with this Leo Chiron, but she has to realize that she has potential, and I think she's realized that because she came back and she explained herself, and she showed that she is very successful in her own right, and she does not need to be compared to others or be overlooked. So I personally believe that she has healed this wound, and that's something that she has done, so kudos to her. Next up is her rising in Cancer. And with this placement, she tends to be very empathetic. She tends to be very gentle, very patriotic, maybe moody at times, but she's very protective, very caring, very intuitive, and very comfortable. She has a familiar aura about herself that when you see her, you feel as though you're safe around her. She is sensitive to her surroundings. She may seem shy when meeting people for the first time. She's typically caring and sweet. She is very moody, insecure, and sensitive when she's withdrawn. She does need structure and security. She doesn't normally do casual relationships. She's a great listener and enjoys conversations. She enjoys comfort and possibly collecting, and she is someone who's very calm and very collected. Last but not least is her midheaven in Aries. And this is actually one of the most successful midheavens, from Aries, Capricorn to Leo. With this placement, she has the vibes of being very self-starting. She is someone who's very confident in her career. She's very creative, very energetic, and very fresh in regards to her career. She loves giving her opinion. She loves to take the lead. She's someone who's very brainstorming. She's also someone who is very much born for the spotlight. She's someone who loves to do things that really put her at the front. She comes alive when she's put in the spotlight, and she's the type of person who will have self-employment or a career where she controls things. It may be the best option for her to not have to answer to anyone. She thrives in a career that calls for creative solutions in order to heal or ease her impulses. So this really does describe her career. That's all I have for you lovelies today in regards to Keke Palmer's natal chart. Please let me know down below in the comments section how you felt about it. Did you get a better understanding as to who she is as a person? Or did you get to know her better? Please let me know down below who else you guys would want me to do a natal chart analysis on. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when I upload new videos. Hit that like button and share this video with everyone. Last but not least, please make sure you're following me on all of my social media accounts, from Pinterest down to TikTok. Also, please make sure you're supporting me through my PayPal and through my Etsy store. I love you all. Please stay safe and healthy, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, lovelies.